I think it was Winston Churchill who said it best. In the NBA draft, anything can happen. The 2021 NBA draft is only a few months away, and in today's video, I'm combing through all the prospects to tell you who should be drafted where. Get ready, everybody. This is Mock Draft 2.0. Mock Draft 2.0.
Oh yeah!
What's up, guys? It's Troy, Half Court Report YouTube channel, and in today's video, got a mock draft for you. Mock Draft 2.0 for the 2021 NBA Draft. If you're new, make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you never miss another video. And while you're here, make sure you leave a like. If I get 700 likes on my next mock draft video on 3.0, I'm going to do the full first round. Picks 1 through 30. That's if I get 700 likes on today's video. Since the draft order is not quite set, gonna use Tankathon to determine who picks where. And pick number 1 in Mock Draft 2.0 is gonna be made by the Minnesota Timberwolves. They are going with Cade Cunningham. He is a freshman from Oklahoma State University. He is the consensus number 1 pick. He was the Big 12 Player of the Year. This dude has it all. I get Ben Simmons vibes from him, but I think he's a better shooter and a better scorer than Ben. Cade is the type of player that you are going to want to run your offense through. He's also a big-time defender, and this guy is a flat-out winner. I think he can be a number 1 option on a team down the line. He is a franchise changer, basically is what I'm saying. Minnesota would be overflowing with talented players if this happens. Just imagine a team: Karl-Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, and now Cade Cunningham. Pick number 2 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Detroit Pistons, and they pick Evan Mobley. He is a big man and a freshman from the University of Southern California, USC. Mobley has the skills and defensive ability that teams look for in a modern big man. He's a legit 7-footer with a developing shooting touch. Some say he could be the next Anthony Davis. I'm not quite there with him. I think he's more of a Chris Bosh type of player long term, but he has tons of upside. Just needs to get way stronger and get more experience. He would make sense here for Detroit. You'd be set at the 1 with Killian Hayes. You'd be set at the 5 with Evan Mobley. Detroit needs a lot. This is a good pick for them. Pick number 3 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Houston Rockets. They are going with Jalen Green, who most recently played for the G League Ignite team. He's a scorer kind of in the mold of Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal. Really explosive player as well. Probably one of the most athletic guys in this draft. He's improving as a shooter and as a playmaker as well. Sky is the limit for Jalen Green. He's also half Filipino. This would make Houston the new favorite team of 100 million people. I think on a team like Houston, Jalen Green could easily average 25 points per game as a rookie. Pick number 4 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Orlando Magic. They're going with another Jalen, this time Jalen Suggs, who's a freshman with Gonzaga. This dude is the starting point guard for that awesome Gonzaga team. I think he's basically like a modern-day Chauncey Billups. Well-rounded offensive and defensive game, takes contact, offers that balanced mix of being an athlete, but also having strength, passing, and shot making. If Orlando drafts this guy, he's going to speed up the Magic's rebuild by like 3 seasons because I think he is that good. Jalen Suggs with a healthy Markelle Fultz and Jonathan Isaac is just plain scary in 5 years. Pick number 5 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Washington Wizards, and they are going with Jonathan Kuminga, who was Jalen Green's teammate on the G League Ignite team. I think there's kind of a drop-off after the top 4 players, so Kuminga is kind of in his own little tier as pick number 5. Still a bit of an unknown type of player to a lot of scouts. He moved from the Congo about 5 years ago to play high school ball. He's the top small forward in this draft class. Also, one of the youngest dudes in the draft. He's a great dunker. He's awesome in transition. He just needs to refine his game a little bit, compete on the floor all the time. One of those players who's really raw, but I think on the right team could be really, really good, and I think he makes a lot of sense for the Wizards at number 5. Pick number 6 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are going with Scotty Barnes from Florida State University. He's a 6'8 forward with a 7'2 wingspan. He's got an NBA-ready frame, very high basketball IQ as a passer and as a defender. Does need to get a little bit better with his offensive game, but I think he fills a need for the Cavaliers. He would be another solid defender to put with Isaac Okoro and Jarrett Allen. Then you've got the offense of Colin Sexton and Darius Garland. Pick number 7 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Toronto Raptors. They are going with Keon Johnson, who is a 2-guard from the University of Tennessee. Lots of upside, one of the best athletes in the draft. He's aggressive as a defender, pretty good shooting touch as well. Really powerful player when he's on the court. I think it's all but certain that Kyle Lowry is going to be gone next year. So I think Keon Johnson could start from day one with Fred VanVleet as the new backcourt for the Raptors to put alongside Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby. Pick number 8 is going to be made by the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they are going with Moses Moody of the University of Arkansas. He was actually a high school teammate of number 1 pick Cade Cunningham, and I think you draft Moody based on his potential as a 3-and-D player. He's a shooter, he's a hustle guy, he's a rebounder. I think he tops out as a 3rd or 4th option on a final team in his prime. And right now, he can play with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the backcourt, give OKC another piece for their rebuild. Pick number 9 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Orlando Magic by way of the Chicago Bulls via the Nikola Vucevic trade. They're going with Corey Kispert, also of Gonzaga. They took his teammate Jalen Suggs earlier. Now they're going with Kispert, who is a small forward, elite shooter, both off the catch and off the dribble. He's got that quick release from all over the floor. I think one day he could be a potential 50, 40, 90 type of player, which means 50% from the field, 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw line. Really solid shooter. And he took a huge leap this year for this awesome Gonzaga team. Pick number 10 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the New Orleans Pelicans. They're going with Kai Jones. He's a big man from the University of Texas. Might be one of those guys who turns into Christian Wood in a couple of years. Super athletic big guy, legit 7-footer. Just needs to get a little bit better overall when he's on the floor. I think New Orleans can afford to go for a swing for the fences type of play here because they need guys to put around their stars in Zion and Brandon Ingram. At worst, Kai Jones can be your 5th starter. Right now, he's an energy big man, but he has lots of potential. Pick number 11 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Sacramento Kings. It seems like the Sacramento Kings are always in these mock drafts in the lottery, and they are going with Franz Wagner from the University of Michigan. If that name sounds familiar, then yes, that's because he's the brother of Mo Wagner of the Boston Celtics. Good shooter from distance. He's got clean mechanics, really strong shooting percentages, tremendous off-ball instincts that allow him to make an impact all over the floor. This would be a really good pick for the Kings. I think Wagner would add some stability to the Sacramento franchise. Pick number 12 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Indiana Pacers. They are going with James Bouknight from UConn. He's a 2-guard, 6'5 wing. I think he can be a starting shooting guard at some point in his career. He's really bouncy, has a great first step. He can also come off the bench to light it up, kind of like a Jordan Clarkson kind of player. He can contribute from Indiana right off the bat. And they're a team wanting to get back to the playoffs. They need guys who can play right away. Pick number 13 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Golden State Warriors. They are going with Jalen Johnson, most recently of Duke University, but there was kind of that controversy. He left before the season was over. So that's kind of setting up some red flags for Jalen Johnson. People are saying, okay, did he quit on his team? But I think Johnson could be a good long-term piece for the Warriors. He's a 6'9 power forward. He can handle the ball. He's awesome in transition. Really good defensive versatility as well. Get him in the Warriors system, and I think he could be really, really good. And finally, last pick of the lottery, pick number 14 in Mock Draft 2.0 is going to be made by the Memphis Grizzlies, and they are going with Isaiah Jackson of the University of Kentucky. He's a 6'10 center, and he really came on strong at the end of the season. In his final 6 games, he averaged 14 points and 8 rebounds, over 2 blocks per game, and only 22 minutes per night. I think he can be an impact guy, especially maybe as a hustle player, because he's got that quickness, he's got the length. He can switch out on the perimeter defensively, really good shot blocker, great as a guy who rolls to the rim and catches lobs. Any way you slice it, Jackson is the type of guy who can fit pretty seamlessly into any role in the modern NBA. And there you have it, Mock Draft 2.0. You got to tell me what you think in the comments. What did you think of who your team picked? Who do you want your team to pick in the upcoming draft? Make sure, if it's your first time here, you are subbed up to this channel. Make sure you leave a like. If I get 700 likes for my next mock draft, I'm going to do the full first round, picks 1 through 30. That's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you check out the boxes on the screen for more NBA content just like this. Until next time, my name is Troy. Thanks for watching.